Hello everyone. Hello Professor. So I am Venkata Raviteja Rajanala. So today I'm here to present my research paper presentation on the topic motivation and feedback. So coming to the agenda of my presentation, I'm going to start with introduction. What exactly is motivation and feedback is. Then followed by the employee motivation. I'm going to discuss about some fundamental perspectives of motivation, motivating employees through job design, the strategies of motivation, what exactly is feedback, the relation between feedback and motivation, and conclusion, and then the followed by the references. So coming to the introduction, motivation and feedback, these both are very essential and very key components in any corporate environments. They play a very major role in employee-employer relationship. So motivation and feedback depict the communication which occurs in a corporate environment. Suppose if an employee is properly motivated and given constructive and positive feedback, so it increases his confidence levels, it improves his confidence levels, so which in turn is visible in his performance. If a team of employees were given properly motivation and a proper guidance, they will do wonders. That in turn will maximize the organization's performance. That improves the positive attitude among the team and among the company, among the organization. So what exactly is this motivation is? Motivation explains why we do things we do. It explains why it explains everything. So the word motivation is derived from the Latin word movere, meaning the move. It describes the psychological processes that underlie the direction, intensity, and persistence of behavior or thought. So direction in the sense direction pertains to what an individual is going to attend at any given time. Intensity refers to how much effort he is being invested in that particular activity, and persistence refers to how long does that individual's focus will be on that particular activity. And according to researchers, there are like two types of motivation: extrinsic motivation and intrinsic motivation. Extrinsic motivation results from the potential or actual receipt of rewards. So I can say like extrinsic rewards such as recognition, money, and then promotion for something which we did in the company, for something which we did at work. So they all for example, I can say like in 2018, the Southwest Airlines, they paid its employees $544 million as annual profit sharing bonuses. As a result, the company has each employee got an annual compensation of 10.8%. So they say this whole credit goes to the employees, and employees are their best assets. And coming to the intrinsic motivation occurs when an individual is inspired by the positive internal feelings after doing a work. That means after generating by doing well, that generates the positive internal feelings which generate by doing the job well. So we can we can create our own intrinsic motivation by giving ourselves intrinsic rewards like satisfaction, positive emotions, and self-appraisal. So coming to what is an employee motivation. Employee motivation is nothing but guiding the employee in right direction. Employees need to be motivated time to time. It is the responsibility of that positive leadership, so which helps the employees to drive to excel in their work. So employee motivation is it helps the employees to enhance their skills, to work, to be positive at the workplace. So the positive leader should give reasons to employees and their efforts. So coming to what are the fundamental perspectives of motivation? Like according to researchers, they divided two general categories of motivation into two general categories. They are content theories and then process theories. What is a content theory? Content theory of motivation is nothing but identifying internal factors such as the employee needs that will affect and energize employee motivation. Based on the idea that an employee's needs fulfill his or her motivation, so we can have five different content theories. They are McGregor's theory X and theory Y, Maslow's need hierarchy theory, acquired needs theory, self-determination theory, Hertzberg's motivator Hygiene theory. So let me go Let me give you a brief explanation of all these theories. Theory X and Theory Y. Theory X is a pessimistic view of employees. They dislike work, must be monitored, and can be motivated only with the rewards or punishment. This is just like carrots and slices style, like a sticks style. Coming to the Theory Y is a modern and positive set of assumptions about people at work. They are self-engaged, committed, responsible, and creative. And what about Maslow's need hierarchy theory? So Maslow's the need hierarchy theory states that motivation is a function of 5 basic needs. They are physiological, safety, love, esteem, and self-actualization. The 5 needs are met sequentially and relate to each other in a prepotent hierarchy. What do you mean by prepotent? Prepotent means the current most pressing need will be met after the next need becomes most powerful. So coming to the next, so I have shown the figures of both the McGregor's theory X and theory Y and Maslow's need hierarchy theory and acquired needs theory in one of the slides. So coming to the acquired needs theory, what is an acquired needs theory? It actually states 3 needs for achievement. Achievement, affiliation, and power are the key drivers of employee behavior. So what exactly are those in terms of acquired needs theory? Need for achievement, the desire to excel, overcome the obstacles, solve problems, and rival and surpass others. What is need for affiliation? It is the desire to maintain social relationships, to be liked and join groups. Need for power, the desire to influence, coach, teach, and encourage others to achieve. So this is all about the acquired needs theory. What is self-determination theory? It assumes that 3 innate needs influence our behavior and well-being. The needs are competence, autonomy, and relatedness. Self-determination theory focuses more on intrinsic motivation than extrinsic motivation. So I can explain it in detail. Like if it is just take the competence. What is competence? I need to feel. It should be like I need to feel efficacious. This is the desire to feel qualified, knowledgeable, and capable to complete an act or task or goal. Autonomy is like I need to feel independent to influence my environment. This is the desire to have freedom and discretion in relatedness, in determining what you want to do and how you want to do it. So coming to the third one, relatedness, I want to be connected with the others. This is the desire to feel part of a group, to belong, and to be well connected to the others. So coming to the next theory, Hedberg's motivator Heisenberg theory. Motivator Heisenberg theory, it proposes that job satisfaction and dissatisfaction arise from 2 different sets of factors. What are those factors? Satisfaction comes from motivating factors and dissatisfaction comes from Heisenberg factors. So coming to, this is the diagram, this is the slide I'm talking about. So I have represented both Maslow's need hierarchy theory and acquired needs theory in the slide. So coming to the process theories, what exactly is the process theory? Process theory explains the process by which the internal factors and the situational factors influence employees' performance. So we can divide this process theory into 3 different types: equity or justice theory, expectancy theory, and goal setting theory. So what exactly is this equity theory? Equity theory is nothing like a model of motivation that explains how people strive for fairness and justice in social exchanges or give and take relationships. According to this theory, people are motivated to maintain consistency between their beliefs and their behavior. Coming to the expectancy theory holds that people are motivated to behave ways that produce desired combinations of expected outcomes. For instance, it can predict whether we should be in the job, we should stay in the job or quit the job, whether we should take computer science engineering or we need to graduate in commerce, something exactly like that. So coming to the goal setting theory is like we can find something in all the successful people. We can find something in common in all the successful people. What exactly is it? It's their lives are goal oriented. What helps goal setting? How goal setting theory helps an individual? Goals direct attention. Goals regulate effort. Goals increase persistence. Goals foster the development and application of task strategies and action plans. So coming to motivating employees through job design. Based on the idea that motivation is primarily influenced by the tasks people perform and characteristics of the immediate work environment, we can have 3 broad approaches. The first one is top-down approach, the second one is bottom-up approach, and third one is emerging approach. So the top-down is management is responsible for creating efficiency, like creating efficient and talented combinations of work for tasks and employees. Bottom up, it refers to as job crafting. Employees create their own job boundaries here. Emerging is like this approach views job design as a process in which the manager and employee jointly negotiate the tasks that employee should complete. So this is all about the how to motivate the employee through job design. We can have few strategies of motivation: add meaning to their work, help them realize that their contribution is important, achieving of milestones. Whenever an employee achieves something, we need to celebrate, we need to pat him on the back, we need to give him the recognition and everything. These are the strategies of motivation. Coming to feedback, feedback is nothing but the information about an individual or a collective team performance shared with those in position to improve the situation. So effective feedback is only information, not evaluation. It is a greater tool to connect the management and the employees. Both the management and employee can gain through this feedback, through this feedback tool. Both the motivation and feedback are linked with performance. They have significant impact on the productivity of employees. Motivation is a downward communication, whereas feedback is an upward communication. It can be motivated by positive and constructive feedback. So coming to the conclusion, this paper has discussed in detail the relationship of motivation and feedback, and it explains how organizations are motivating their employees through positive feedback, which also helps them to work on their weaknesses along with their providing desired performances. You know what, employees are a valuable resource to any organization. So feedback and motivation are related to the communication of the organization in such a way that constructive feedback shows positive communication and motivation shows the power of communication. So these are my references. So thank you so much for your attention, Professor. Thank you so much. Bye-bye.